Okay, we are the poets for the homeless. It's a project we're doing, and we're both going to do 2 points. After you.
Right, what can I say? Mike's not my favourite bit. Right, my poems: shite, plight and flight. Pitter patter, rain, hail, snow. No pennies on the floor, only paper and card, streets, mattress, floor. Government issue spikes, hard lay, no more shelter in the door. Weathered skin, soaked within, cold bites, back breaks. Ice drops, no mistakes, slow death, big stakes. Worldwide prey with no more doorway. Scrap food thrown away, wraps of rubbish to wear. Clean water's rare, no warmth to share. Got nobody heat, stomach aches, nothing to eat. Into the gutter with the trash and grime. No love, no feeling, no care, no time. A heart, a brain, living, breathing soul. Our feelings unsaid. Spare some change, please. We have no house and bed. Thank you.
Do you notice me in the doorway, the conductor to your pretty symphony? Do you notice me when you throw the copper? Do you notice me at all? Have you ever seen me here before? I'm from here, you know, but I'm not from here. I'm in your head. I wake up every morning wishing I was dead. You walk past going to work, complaining that you've got no credit on your mobile phone. What a joke. I am the conductor to the pity that you give me when you throw change. But do you think of me when it's snowing? Do you think of me when you're going? Do you ever turn around and look to see if I'm there? Do you ever care if I'm dead or just asleep? Do you ever wonder what happened to me to get here? You probably think I was a drunk or a drug addict or just somebody who's got out of prison. But I'm actually somebody who had just bad luck. Just the conductor of your pity orchestra. We are the Poets of the North East. We have a Facebook page. It's not our project, it's everybody's. It's going to be the coldest winter ever, apparently. And if you can help, find us on Facebook and try to get some events together. Thank you.
Can I first of all apologise for my little Adolf Hitler tribute cold sore? Please don't photograph me if I go like this. I feel like that Father Ted character when it's on there. This is a complaint I've been writing today. It's about furniture shops in Newcastle. It's a complaint. It's called Furniture Shop Failing. Not a single local furniture store sells deathbeds. Now, obviously, everybody needs a deathbed and wants it to be as comfortable as possible in extremely trying circumstances. So it's inexplicable and even unforgivable that such a fantastic marketing opportunity is being missed. They could make a killing with their slogans. No time to lose. Get the toes up classic here. Breathless offers, 1 per customer. Getting off problems a thing of the past. No more Monday morning blues. However, there must be a highly organised black market because everyone seems to get a deathbed just when they need it. And nobody dies on someone else's, though sometimes people share. Why does the assistant shake her head when you ask for credit terms on a designer labelled deathbed. You never see them on eBay or in the small ads in the Chronicle. Nobody sidles up in a pub and hisses, "Want to buy a king-size double bed?" Oh, ist das scheiße. Ich habe das fast geschafft. Ich kehre zurück, okay? You never see them on eBay or in the small ads in the Chronicle. Nobody sidles up in a pub and hisses, "Want to buy a king-size double deathbed?" Explain it how you will. Even the most publicity-conscious poets never have a deathbed launch at the Lytton Film.
Fuck away.
You can sell it.
What's going on with
The sun, it was setting like a shun Greek god behind, like a shun Athens god behind a burnt Greek sky. But Sally was all smiles. She was riding high on top of an ornate plastic boat. Pulled too slow to tip her off, but she was quick enough to make her top slip, revealing her braless cleavage. The DJ baits the crowd with, "Get them out!" as she frees a hand from the ozone-soaked rope around the Bronco's neck and lifts the top above her head, exposing her breasts. At the same time, Sally's friend Susie's on her knees, centre stage, mimicking the mechanical bull's rocking motion with her open mouth. She's illuminated from the flash of 100 camera phones, all set on record. She holds both thumbs up, the shouts of "suck him off." Later, in the toilets, while Susie's washing out her mouth, Sally asks, "Did you hear the crowd go mental when I whipped me tits out?" Looking up from the spit-splattered sink, Susie replies, "Aye, I can't remember what the prize was, but I think we won." Now fast forward 2 months. Susie no longer feels like a winner, as the bathroom light grows dimmer and the water in which she lays turns a deadly red shade. A moment's madness in a sleazy Greek bar, it cut deeper than the scars upon her arms from where the blood now seeps. A mobile tweets, another social media notification, a video uploading, gratifying her humiliation, only this time, the thumbs up are digital. An unwilling internet sensation at age 19, diabolically labelled in the dailies as such. Disgusting holiday slut in sickening public sect act named. Shamefully singling Susie solely capable, culpable. But is she really the only one responsible? What about the crowd who egged her on? Vehemently videoing along. Surely they realised what they were witnessing was wrong. And if they didn't on that night, then what gave them the right to later upload their films onto sites where they'd be seen and shared by strangers till they get plastered over morning papers where one tabloid actually ran the tagline, "Visit us online for the full uncut scene"? Now remember, Susie is just 19, now alienated from her family, vilified nationally for what was one night stupidity. Anyone who's ever been sucked into the vacuum of a group mentality will appreciate how hard it is to break free, especially when sense and inhibition has been weakened from too much drink and holiday excitement. But let's not forget about these establishments. These bars and holiday resorts that so openly flaunt female exploitation for drunken titillation as they toss around crass flyers that read, "Show us your tits and you'll get in for free." Where is their accountability? Surely they have a responsibility for the safety and the well-being of their patrons. But yet, anywhere that so actively extorts sexuality in exchange for currency, it doesn't sound that safe to me. But let's not fool ourselves that this only happens overseas. Walk into any UK city and you'll see staff in certain bars objectified to little more than breasts and bras, with a sign above their door offering cheap drinks and entry to any woman willing to expose their anatomy. Now, I'm not condoling Susie's actions. I'm just asking for an equal level of guilt for all those responsible for the stigma that this girl in the bathtub can't scrub off. There used to be a saying, what happens on holidays stays on the plane.
Keeping on that sort of tip, anyway. I was going to read something off there, but anyway, I know if it wasn't for patriotism, there wouldn't be no sun. If it wasn't for Rupert Murdoch, there wouldn't be no scum. Entertainment dumbed down to the masses, coming down to the lowest common denominator for the working classes. It lashes the thought, harasses nothing but the weak. Readers point their finger as they're glancing at the tabloid sheet, trying to gain the answers from some fucking lying fat cat sheet. Does it really fucking matter what Jordan did between the sheets? Repeating the lies time after time by justifying Tony's war, you're an accessory to war crimes. For prize the fact that laugh from a rag you call a mag, nothing more than a propaganda trap. You're freedom raker, homegrown truth maker, refugee slayer, cause the sun says they're making Britain's streets safer. You're wafer thin, paper a sin. You're the one who told Alistair Campbell, and Rebecca Brooks for that matter, how to spin. I wonder what's going on in this world of mine when one man can sex up a tabloid and call it the Times. Broadsheet or not, it's a right-wing plot. I wouldn't use some paper to wipe the shit between my buttocks. Rupert Murdoch must die, simple fact. Down with the News Corp empire. Oh, I've got that trailer trash, we've got the sensational snaps. Britain's under attack from these illegal immigrants trying to get over and over from this camp in France. A red band seeks to pull the wool over the vast disparity between the rich and poor. The allure of digesting this headline whole. Are we so pretty as people, a nation of people making this mass media myths or making us all unequal? Who's pointing at who? Who's pointing at you? Who gets more than you do? Remember to look at the wealthy celebs, laugh at the has-been plebs, glance at the chebs on page 3. What variety is this publication? Putting the daily news of the world to right without presentation. Amazing scoops that keep us all duped, consuming and complacent. It's time to bring down News Murdoch and Murdoch, because Murdoch definitely needs debasing. It happened on the 14th of October. Sage Francis, an amazing spoken word artist and rap hip-hop artist, who puts the poetry back into hip-hop, playing along with the equally amazing Edward Scissortongue, happening at Think Tank. Many years ago, Buddy Makepeace, who played at this particular establishment, as well as Scrupulous Pip, you might have heard of, both artists associated with Sage Francis. Come and check it out. The flyers are over there.
Just had 2 poems published in this. I've got copies. If you want a copy, see me. So for only £3. This is a sort of quite a serious poem about suffering from schizophrenia. Box up clever the voices of the night. You say to yourself, stop thinking. That's the answer. No more mind battles. Just you, the drink, some music, the computer and the night. Shut out everything except the night. Box up clever the voices of the night. But they will edge their way in. They always do. They always find a way. They seem a lot smarter than you, more streetwise, cooler, even upbeat. A friend even to your loneliness. Although they never seem to know when to stop, always arguing, swearing filth at you. They would go on forever and do some nights. You think you hear them sometimes. The depth of the night is like a wire mesh around your brain. You fine-tune it to receive every noise, animal, car, screech, as though it was from inside your night echo mind, rather than outside. You fine-tune yourself to incoming, sarky, loose chatter in the head. Like fighter planes, battleships, mine missiles, battalions. Your mind's a balloon, floating, not here or there, or somewhere you know you would find it. Put a finger on it, nudge it back into shape. The booze is your blocker of loneliness, feelings, voices. And the night is the drink's companion and yours. You never get barred from the night, never. The night becomes like an escape, a life shoot, a parachute jump into another world beyond reason, alienation, incomprehension. Finally, you and the world of the night, voices, drink, feel at one. A strange kind of peace is found. You have given in to the voices and the night. The computer says you have a friend. So you think, well, if the computer says so. The loneliness of the night makes you feel the opposite of lonely. Its loneliness and its hazy worldview is now your only friend. All of it, every dark, lazy, chattering, mad, fat cat piss corner. The TV buzzing its damn interference, a cat hissing their sex love cries in painful surrender. Your empty bottles of medicine and alcohol lie around like forgotten things you should have done and said. Put right, organised into a cold, hard day dream reason. Tidied up like a submission, completed, coming up for air.
I'm going to try and read this without this. I'm going to put it down though because I'm scared. This is called A Nasty Little Goodbye Note from the Disappearing Spoons. We had fed you for too long. When your bulbous faces first receded in the backs of our bald heads, you drank yogurts, enjoyed the thrill of squeezing hot tea bags, forked out on cheese knives. But when the dishes joined us, a new fear stirred. You had underestimated our power to turn the world upside down. How you searched for us, chasing our shimmering handles down dusty roads, thinking you'd seen us, upturned and luminous in the armpit of a mountain, only to discover it was the disappointment of a lock. Fools! At dawn we will tinkle round the milk bottles for the last time, then melt our silver into the fading moon. So huddle as close as your noses and knees allow, and you cannot make spoons. How you will long for soup!
Hi, I've never done this before, so okay. Sorry. Inside your mouth, there are strong teeth, impossibly white, well practiced at chewing up girls like me. Incisors for the initial attack, clean bites of any walls in your way, canines for tearing away will. Ripping and shredding until we almost think it was our own idea. Molars for the grind, the process that really ensures that there is nothing us left in the end. Inside your mouth there is a tongue, standard pink, laced with something more dangerous than poison. Is there flavour on your taste buds as your insidious words touch that flesh and spill on us? Full lips, the only barrier between us and all of your promises or lies. And you, of all people, are the key holder. Inside your mouth are all of your tricks and traps, all of your wily coyote tunnels into the unknown that only you know how to paint and no one else can figure out how we pass through. All of this is hidden behind your lips and inside your mouth.
I'm attempting this. Oh shit! I'm attempting this without words. So without written down on page where it's started here. No. This is probably the geekiest poem I've ever written yet. It's about the marriage between Neil Gaiman and Amanda Palmer, but from a Doctor Who perspective. Okay. It's called Lord and Lady. Silence. In the library. I am in the music room, with my hands deep inside the body of a grand piano. With my fingers on the strings, I can feel them sing. He is in the city. Oh, I know this. My body resonates with his ever-nearing closeness. He is coming for me through galaxies and English weather. And when the fractured screech of that violin breaks the silence here within, I am drawn full circle back into his timeline. He pulls me close and we slow dance the thin line between madness and genius. Come with me, he whispers. Oh, but I cannot leave the music room. It is my most curious flaw, the quality that most draws him to me, and the reason I cannot follow freely the path so richly described that we traverse beyond the skies, for I cannot leave the music room. I am caged behind bars of symphonic notation, a helpless quaver entwined along the parallel lines of manuscript paper, yet there is more depth and wonder yet to be explored, hidden inside these unplayed chords and down between these living keys than behind any of the doors in his precious machine. But he has time enough and more to spare, and a universe of expanding space that he cannot share with me, mere mortal slave to this piano, and my thoughts of him, my grandest inspiration, my greatest distraction, my paradoxical doctor of circumstance, my lord of time well spent, and I, named so as his lady of motionless transformation, like a butterfly in a music box specimen case, with the weight of his trials pressed heavy on my mirrored wings, that reflect his desire to make each other home. But I cannot leave the music room, and he cannot not go on. Perpetual motion, absolute stillness, could never end any other way than beautiful agony and perfect chaos. Thank you.
Corinne, my beautiful friend from Sissy-en-Brie, Corinne's Lucas's dad owned a private school, pen pals because of my uncle, Jean-Marie. And Eve Saint Laurent, catwalk mule, perfect skin, whilst mine was more teenage, dripping in sex appeal and nobody's fool. Her personality jumped out at me from the page. Corinne and I both loved film and music. But whereas I was 14, she was 15 years of age. She came to stay with me and we immediately clicked. We laughed, we gossiped, and we had lots of fun. And then we thought our friendship would stick. It didn't take long to realise she was the vulnerable one. She was outwardly confident, but she was really a sunk stone. And in her inside was the darker side of the sun. She saw ghosts everywhere and scared of everyone, and her soul was a prisoner stuck on the moon. At the funfair ghost train, she went under the dashboard to be alone. In Paris, we listened to Dire Straits and Eagles in her room. She showed me her makeup and we swapped clothes. We played a card game of love that told you your fortune. Her mother kept an endless pot of soup on the stove. Her father was an authoritarian, who I only can say I suspected was the cause of Corrie's anxiety as he kept her in kid loves. One sister tried to commit suicide 3 times and was an addict. Corrie's other sister was a recovering artistic anorexic. And as I've already said, Corrine was neurotic. At a New Year's party wearing clothes and hats eclectic, with the Eurythmics 1984 on the widescreen in a prison club, dancing all night to new wave, new romantic and electric. I blame myself for not being in touch. We fell out a year later in the south of France. Just clashed that time. We both seemed to each other too much. I got a letter just after that. I read it, didn't respond. I'm afraid that's it. That's the last. Thank you.